I'm going to start this off by saying something that's going to sound a little crazy. I used to say every single week that I was going to come out here and I was going to be a fighting champion. I said I was going to be consistent, I was going to defend this title, and I was going to be there every week. But that was all a lie. It's a lie because the reality is my name is Joe, and I've been living with leukemia for 11 years. And unfortunately, it's back. Now, I didn't want to come out here and make this about sympathy. I didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me because I've been fighting this disease for a long time and I've been able to put it in remission. But this time I have to step away. I have to take my title and relinquish it. And I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing it because I have to. When I was 22 years old, I was diagnosed. At that time, I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. I had a baby on the way. I didn't even have a home. Football was over. I had nothing. I had no idea what I was going to do next. But you know what? WWE gave me a chance. They gave me an opportunity. And when I came here, they put me in front of all of you. And I was able to live my dream. And I want to make one thing real clear. This is not a retirement speech because after I'm done whooping leukemia's ass once again, I'm coming back home. And when I do, it won't be just about titles or being the guy. It'll be about showing the whole world, especially the people going through something similar, that there's hope. Because the reality is, no matter how tough you think you are, life will throw something at you that you can't control. And this is mine. But I've been through it before, I beat it before, and I'll beat it again. I don't care how long it takes, I don't care how hard it gets. I'll fight every single day, and I will come back stronger, better, and hungrier than ever. I want to thank everyone who supported me over the years, my family, my friends, the fans, and even those who have booed me, who have cheered me, who've just been there. Because whether you knew it or not, you've always been part of my fight. And now, I need you more than ever. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for strength. I'm looking for prayers. I'm looking for positive energy. And I promise you, when I'm back, you will see me in that ring again, doing what I love with the people I love in front of the fans who make this worth it every single night. When I walked out that night, holding that title close to my chest, I wasn't just holding gold and leather. I was holding the weight of every single moment, every sacrifice, every drop of sweat that got me there. That championship didn't just represent victory in the ring. It represented the battles I fought when no one was watching, the nights I couldn't sleep, the mornings I had to push myself to get up, even when I felt like I couldn't. And still, I had to let it go. Not because I was weak, not because I was done, but because there was a different kind of fight waiting for me, one that didn't care about titles or spotlight, one that didn't hear the roar of a crowd or wait for an entrance theme, a fight that came in silence without warning and demanded everything I had left. When I stood in that ring, I knew what I had to say would change everything. People had seen me as a champion, a warrior, someone who always got back up, but they hadn't seen the other side, the side that was tired, the side that had known pain, not from a steel chair or a spear, but from sitting in cold hospital rooms, getting blood tests, hearing doctors say words that most people only read about. And that night, I wasn't there to hold on to a belt. I was there to hold on to truth, to remind people that no matter what we wear around our waist or how loud the crowd chants our name, we're all human. We all bleed. We all break sometimes. And when life gives you a real fight, a kind that hits you in the soul, you can't dodge it. You've got to face it head on. So I laid it down. I stepped away not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Because sometimes strength isn't proven in how much you hold on to something, but in the courage it takes to let it go. It's easy to grip the championship when you're healthy, when you're on top. It's much harder to place it in the center of the ring and walk away with no guarantees, no return date, no clear road back. But I had faith. Not just in medicine or in doctors. I had faith in the fight inside me, in the years I had spent building something bigger than a title run. I had faith in my purpose. And I knew deep down, this wasn't the end. It was just a different chapter. And I want you to know, whether you're in an arena or sitting alone in your room dealing with something no one else understands, there's strength in stepping back. There's power in pausing the chase and choosing healing instead. Life isn't always about being the last man standing. Sometimes it's about being brave enough to admit you need time to stand back up. I didn't feel like a champion in that moment. I felt scared, but I also felt free. Because when you stop pretending that everything's fine, when you speak your truth, you give others permission to do the same. That's what real leadership is. It's not standing tall when everything's perfect. It's standing in front of the world when everything's not and saying, I still believe. And I did believe in my family, in the people who had supported me from the beginning, in the fans who saw something in me even when I wasn't holding a belt. And most of all, I believed in the version of me that wasn't just a fighter in the ring, but a fighter in life. So when I put that title down, I wasn't walking away from it, I was protecting it. I was honoring what it meant by not pretending I could give it everything when I couldn't. That's what real champions do. They don't just fight for glory. They fight for the right reasons, even when it hurts. And I knew in my heart I'd be back. You see, there's a misconception about strength that we often carry with us. It's the idea that being strong means never showing weakness, never letting anyone see your cracks. We're taught to tough it out, to never let anyone see the vulnerability beneath the surface, especially when the world is watching. We're told to smile through the pain, to stand tall when we're barely holding it together. But here's the truth. Real strength isn't about hiding that vulnerability. It's about owning it. It's about standing in front of your audience, letting them see the full range of what it means to be human and still moving forward. It's easy to be strong when the lights are bright, when you're winning, when everything is going your way. We all can hold it together when the wins are stacking up, when the applause is echoing in our ears. But real strength is what you do when the applause fades. When you're not the one standing tall, with a trophy in your hand, when the spotlight doesn't shine your way. And all that's left is you, alone, grappling with what life has thrown at you. And that's where true power lies, in letting yourself be vulnerable and in opening up and saying, I am not invincible, I have my flaws, I have my battles. When you let the world see the cracks, you give others permission to do the same. You stop pretending, and in that moment, you become stronger than any of the physical feats you could ever accomplish. Strength comes from authenticity, from showing up as you truly are, flaws and all. And in that rawness, there's power, a power that's unshakable because it's rooted in truth. Now, I know it's not easy, it's uncomfortable, it's difficult to expose your weaknesses, to share your fears. The world doesn't always make it easy to be vulnerable. It's often met with judgment or worse, silence. But that's exactly why we need it. We need the courage to be seen in all of our humanity, to take the mask off and show people who we really are. Only then can we truly connect, truly inspire. When I stood in front of that audience and shared the struggle I was facing, I wasn't doing it for sympathy or pity. I wasn't doing it for attention. I was doing it because I wanted to be real. I wanted to remind people that no matter what you see on the outside, there's always more beneath the surface. We all face our own battles, but we don't have to face them in silence. We don't have to hide the truth because we're scared of what others might think. The truth is what makes us human, and the more we share it, the stronger we become. It's easy to want to shield ourselves from the world, to put on a brave face and pretend that everything is okay. But that's not where the power lies. The power lies in saying, I don't have all the answers, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm here, I'm fighting. When you own your story, when you face your reality head on, you take away the power that fear and shame have over you. And that's where true freedom comes in. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, including myself, try to hold it all together, trying to be perfect, trying to be something we're not. We build these walls around ourselves, and we think that if we keep everyone out, if we keep everything in, we're stronger, but all we're doing is keeping ourselves trapped. When you're not willing to show your true self, when you're not willing to acknowledge your own weaknesses, you're not just denying the world the real you, you're denying yourself the chance to grow. What I learned through this journey is that vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you stronger. It shows you're willing to take risks, to expose the parts of yourself that are most fragile, and to trust that the world will accept you anyway. And that acceptance is what truly sets you free. Because here's the thing, we're all in this together. We're all human. We all have our battles and we all struggle in ways that people will never see. But the more we share our truths, the more we open up about our vulnerabilities, the more we empower those around us to do the same. And that's where the real strength lies. It's not in the facade of perfection, but in the courage to stand tall, even when you don't have it all figured out. So the next time life knocks you down, the next time you find yourself facing a challenge that seems too big, don't run from it. Don't hide it. Don't pretend it's not there. Face it, own it, and let the world see you for who you truly are. Strong, yes, but also human. Because in that human vulnerability, there's an untold strength waiting to rise. And that strength will carry you farther than you ever thought possible. There's something about life that makes us think we have to be perfect, to always have everything together. We look around at others and we compare our struggles to their successes, our failures to their triumphs, and we end up feeling like we're falling short. But the truth is, there's no such thing as the perfect moment. There's no finish line that says, okay, now you're a success, now you've made it. That's not how life works. The real battle is about what you do in those moments when everything is falling apart, when the world feels like it's crumbling down around you and you're unsure of what's next. When you're standing at the edge, looking at what seems like an insurmountable challenge, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. It's easy to want to give up, to walk away from everything because the weight of the situation feels too heavy to bear. But what I've learned over the years, and what I hope you'll take with you, is that the real test, the real measure of strength, comes not in the victories, but in how you handle the struggles. It's in how you face the battles that no one can see. It's in how you keep going, even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. See, there's a big difference between winning and being a winner. Winning is a moment in time. It's that instant where the bell rings and the crowd goes wild. But being a winner, that's a mindset. That's a way of living. And it's a mindset that's forged in those moments of difficulty, in those times when things aren't going your way. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about continuing to push forward when everyone else is telling you to stop. I've been there. I've stood in the middle of my own personal battles, feeling like the whole world was against me. I've had moments where it seemed like I was losing everything I'd worked for, where I wasn't sure if I could keep going. But in those moments, I found something. I found the strength to keep moving forward, to keep fighting, to refuse to let the circumstances define me. When you're in the middle of the storm, it's hard to see anything other than the rain. The winds are howling, the thunder is crashing, and all you can think about is the struggle. But the real test isn't in how you survive the storm, it's in how you emerge from it. It's about how you come out of that chaos stronger, wiser, more determined than before. That's what makes a legend. It's not the titles or the trophies, it's the heart, the resilience, the ability to keep pushing when everything else is telling you to quit. You see, the journey is never about being the last man standing at the top of the mountain. It's about the climb. It's about what you do along the way, how you handle the setbacks, how you rise after every fall. It's about getting back up, dusting yourself off, and moving forward, even when the path seems unclear. When I faced that moment when everything I had worked for was at risk, I didn't let it break me. Instead, I embraced it. I understood that sometimes life will knock you down. It will throw things at you that you didn't expect. But that's when you have to dig deep. That's when you find out who you really are. You find out what you're made of, not in the easy moments, but in the hard ones. And let me tell you, it's in those hard moments that your true power is. The saying that goes, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. And it's true. It's not about the challenges you face. It's about how you face them. It's about how you keep your head up when the world is trying to knock you down. It's about how you stand tall when everyone else is telling you to stay down. That's what defines you. That's what makes you a winner, no matter the outcome. So when life comes at you with everything it's got, when you feel like you can't take another step, that's when you need to remember that you've been through worse. You've faced harder times and come out on the other side stronger. And that's what makes you unbreakable. That's what makes you a winner. Not because you never lose, but because you refuse to stay down when the fight gets tough. You refuse to let your circumstances define you. The real victory is in the strength to rise again, to keep moving, to push forward even when everything seems uncertain. So when you face your next challenge, don't look at it as a barrier, look at it as the opportunity to prove just how strong you really are. Because that's when the real victory happens. That's when the real legend is made. And I can promise you this, if you keep moving forward, if you keep fighting, there's nothing that can stand in your way. Because in the end, the battle is yours to win.